pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge all, yeah, all right. On voting side. Okay. Previous meeting?
Yep, got it. The monthly board meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24, 2026, with a pledge to the flag. The following council members were in attendance: Tony Morris, Kathleen Schwinger, and Jacob Atwood. Our town attorney, Tim Lynn, and Craig Jackson, town marshal, were also in attendance. The meeting is set to stream online and can be viewed at www.townoferectus.org. The council wants to congratulate Craig Jackson on completing the ILEA training. Craig is now certified Tier 2 and has completed the prescribed course of instruction on field test certification through the Indiana Drug Enforcement Association. Good job, and a dog well done. The minutes of the last meeting are read. Tony Morris made a motion to accept the minutes as written, and Jacob Atwood seconded, all approved. There was no fire report. Craig Jackson reported for the OPD total cost for the year, they stand at $426. There were 3 arrests, 3 tickets, and 2 warnings. There were no new hires and no releases. Craig mentioned that ordinance 20-12 regarding loose dogs and cats will be heavily enforced. It seems a citizen is adopting animals and setting them free and arrested. That is not allowed. There is no report on water and wastewater. Jacob Atwood reported on the Parks and Street. He noted on West Oak Street there is a serious need of repair. Central Point Energy has torn the road and stated it would be repaired as soon as the weather permits. There is about an 8 to 10 inch drop in the road. Kathy will contact Central Point again and request this to be repaired. Jacob stated that a swing be broken in the park. Kathy Lawhorn will order a replacement. Jacob stated he will be spraying for mosquitoes soon. There is nothing new on the PPMG-4 project. We were just waiting for the pre-construction meeting. Lodge grant update, the studies have started. Town cleanup that is scheduled for April 24th through 26th is in order. The Erected Community Pride Committee has asked that Swayze 2-1 come and set up during the cleanup on April 24th from noon to 1:30. I think that is a different time though. To sell frozen products. Craig Jackson has received a license plate from former Reserve Rex Carroll Police Car. We are currently waiting to receive plates from Officer Tyler Olheiser's car. Craig will address that. Kevin Llewellyn says the only reserve that agreed to pay his insurance to the town insurance. His vehicle is still in a lease agreement. We are currently getting estimates to repair and replace the lights in the fire barn and also saving both residents. Kathy has given Tim a draft to send to Mr. and Mrs. Allison. They own the property at 4 South Superior. The property is in terrible shape. Tim will draft an appropriate letter in hopes that they will donate the property or repair the property. The primary election will be held at the fire barn again this year on May 5th. We will need to clean the fire barn of all unnecessary items prior to that date. Resolution 326 to 526 were presented to the council. These resolutions are by the order of the Department of Local Government Finance to transfer money to another fund. Patrick Courier made a motion on Resolution 326 and 426, and Tony Morris seconded. All approved. Tony Morris made a motion to approve Resolution 526 and Patrick Courier seconded. All approved. Open discussion. Tim reported that the IURC is asking for a schedule. The town of Erectus will need to file a testimony before the hearing. There is a mid-May deadline. Tim will work on it. Still no work from the other towns. Things are proceeding just fine and looks for the hearing to be held in sometime September. Kathy Courier has requested that the town get a credit card for purchases. Tim suggested that Kathy check with the State Board of Accounts to speed up the rules on the town credit card. Greg Warren, St. Andrew from Red Gold, wanted to personally congratulate Craig on his accomplishment and let him know that he is very much appreciative. Greg mentioned that Red Gold will be holding a tour for the police officers. He and Craig will get together and set that up. Greg stated that Red Gold has an overabundance of pallets and they're looking to get rid of. If anyone needs any, contact Tony Moore, Craig Jackson, or Kathy Lawhorn with the arrangements will be made. Town funds claims 3-1 through 319 and water claims through 1 through 17 were presented to the council. Tony Morris made a motion to approve claims, and Jacob Atwood seconded, all approved. Tony Morris made a motion to adjourn at 7:33, and Jacob Atwood seconded, all approved. The next regular scheduled meeting will be held March 24th at 7 p.m. It's definitely submitted. It's April 20, it's April 28th. Right, it's April 28th. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I believe with that.
No, we're not.
Deja vu.
But I know that, you want to make a motion to approve the minutes of this? The second of what we started, all in favor for that? You know, we're going to take a nut, all the same time, and we'll make it. Yeah, no report. I don't know, it's still, those it's doing, we're going to do it. Fish report, I don't think you have one, we're going to be passed along, and we'll talk about that a little bit. The water and wastewater.
I talked to Neil, he's in Colorado. And he's on vacation in Colorado, and there was no problem.
Parsons Street. We got fixed on May 8th. There is a problem on Superior Street. Yeah, not. Yes, and, it'll have to be separate from, a relative, we already paid, but I will ask you, and human being when they come to give us an idea of what it would take to fix that, they want to show that. Yeah, I think part of that's due to those water replacements that are in cement, that they try to go around it. And then the one that, the cement thing north, further north, is on, and if they don't provide that service, then they will, and things are going to be extended, what it would take to fix them.
And, yes, friends, for a company doing community, but really do.
Meaning how I do it, school board,
I've been on the bad, but, that.
nothing to come out, and thank you, so he gave me he told me the string is broken, I listened. We might need to put Tuesday. Tuesday. So, yeah. Okay, I went up the baby and stuff and go.
Show you that with it.
No, it was like the totally broken.
Old business, the CCMG update, we still haven't had a, meeting yet. And we're still having. Live grant update.
No new news, but they're still doing that, it's helping it.
2 years ago, the railroad is supposed to install crossing arms on, Spruce Street.
We sent an email and no response.
We're excited.
I don't know that that's what happened, but they already paid $25,000 for that one.
And, power equipment update.
Power equipment, I sent them, an email and, no response. I might need them to help me with that. Red Bull is not going to be.
The problem is, there are a lot of things up above. The communication and things like that, and the folks that, there are folks supposed to pay us for that, and they're not paid for it.
Right, $3,600 is what they're behind. And then I sent an email, she said, about right here, and she said, she forwarded it on to the proper person. Well, that was about 3 weeks.
And we're thinking we're gonna have to tell them to take them off. Which company is that?
It's Watch,
Which
Watch
one?
Communications.
Which one?
It just said Watch Communications. And that person, no, she said, I'm not the person who knows all this, but I can send someone on it, who can help. Not like, they go to 14. So I can get you the email. Yeah, but I'll get you the whole correspondence.
Yeah. The IP and all this, they down on, and everything's contact.
Yep. You probably find the contact, you can contact.
And we build it. And,
Monthly. Yeah, I haven't received anything since last April.
Would you stop there?
Right. They owe 36 because like in in the year of 2024, they missed about 3 months. And then in the year of 2025, they only paid 3 months. They haven't paid at all. So they're all of the year and then the April.
You had an original contract.
I can find it.
See if you can find it.
I know I can because
Send that along with me.
okay, I'll send you the forward.
We could use that money for everything. Promise building reimbursement, another $95 this month. He's down to $7,007.
Additional receipt or this is gonna split it.
Well, that, the receipt, oh, $195 receipt, the balance is $7,000.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry about that. I should put a comment.
The fire barn restroom update, we have had 3 different contractors come and look at it, and they're gonna get back to us on quotes. And then we have received 0 quotes, we have 1 ballpark. Well, ballpark would be about $35. We kind of see them, those are the and then they seem decided and maybe that they're going to they quote that we have received everyone. We would like to get those updated as part of moving for the building to be more community friendly. Yeah, now you are shooting it for now.
As we're moving towards, the deadline, we see that, case in chief of this town, which is basically the testament of what it seems to be there. And you're actually, they're testing the town, but they most of it, you have to buy meal, and also it's by, REP or WIC. So, contact the money that you do this, then I think, you do that for a long time. Maybe, and shows, the proposal for new services, the, maybe that evidence that, that. Are you saying the things that we have? So, she submitted the image she, the biggest part of really bringing to that. I think she actually submitted another one, which I wouldn't familiar with that.
Yeah, I'd rather play the other one with Tom Trump.
So she was
I've
asking.
already made it.
No, I'd rather play that.
Well, I never said that to see, to me, that's the working thing, and that's the things that we do.
Well, I don't know that she's very straight about it next week.
So,
Yeah, I see.
Sounds like. Really,
so they're going to, that's for a water block audit?
That's for the testimony that
Right.
that was about as, manufacture beyond to the limits.
Oh,
Any
the
of
other
that we are to go as to.
Oh,
yeah, that was 10,000
Yeah.
7.
we have a water block audit ready to do.
Yes, you know that. When you get clarification on what each thing, but I think, we all wanted to be able to, protect our, that board is being good. And letting, some company just come in and start doing work.
Do you have any resolution?
Yeah, we need a motion to.
I'll make that motion and we approve. What are you on there,
Can I set the matter?
Yeah. The favor, say aye. New business. For the past 2 years, the town, maybe me as part of the town, other people Buxley too, we've looked at trying to have a shelter building at the park, and the purpose of that, right now, there's no shelter. So if I took my granddaughter down there and it's 85 degrees outside and she thinks it's 40, and she's coming, the animals, so if we shelter, need not have sides, it'd be the best thing that came up with is the metal building. If you ever go, 332 in the Nancy, there's a company along the side, like you put the rating, there's a metal building, and with the cost of the building and the cost of the concrete are almost identical. And so the town's budget for parks was $5,000, where the concrete is like $86.50. So I reached out to a company, a local company that has a community thing that would donate or, requested that they consider us for 36.50 so we can get concrete started. That's kind of what it's going to look like.
Is it for the ones that are fine? Yeah, we thought you.
The other advantage I see to that is maybe people would want to come and have a picnic and have somewhere to go to the shelter. And maybe they would want to have a number of things that you want families to come. And I could see where moms that maybe had a little baby and they wanted to take the other kids down to the park and they could have some cherry or have somewhere to sit. Their father and get their couple of picnic tables underneath the.
How large is it going to be? It's all. They're going to 25 and like 129 now, 160. You just have to choose a color. One thing.
They don't have purple. No, we don't want to be in the back, they want people if they're gonna come and have a picnic or something, they can have access to it. So it'd be kind of west of where the current playground equipment is, and maybe it's, just a little bit more towards the road. In the future, I could see where maybe we would want to take, there's an area where, a couple of years ago, we had all of that, melons sitting around a big pile to the grass and running around, maybe that could be, we could turn that into some parkland, if you could pull off the road and partially.
Perfect. I like the idea that it's open.
Yeah, I think that would be, really wrong if we had closed it, because,
Already not food signs.
When we had the Little League down there, we had 3 sides that were still,
So are you making a motion to?
I think the motion that the health provides the concrete, the place for the concrete, the flat committee is going to vote for the rate.
But we're not paying for all the concrete.
Yeah.
That's the other 36.
The town's got $5,000 in the park budget,
Yeah.
and the donation is coming out to $36.50.
Okay.
So you've been following, last year we didn't spend any money for the park, and we had money, we were giving the street.
So that'll wipe out the parks.
Yeah.
Fun.
And we didn't put any in the park. Yeah, it's so I think it'd be pretty easy to do. I don't want to be on it, but that seems to be a whole, it's whole thing. If the neighbor, the second, we make a motion, after we say, like,
Do we need to have a limit for that very thing?
I would guess you ask for people that take the building up, they don't want to go good. Our town, I don't know, here.
Your donation form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say there's still like little belts.
I got to reply back if they're gonna carry it, and then we make it.
I'm gonna take more donation.
They want to, check out the, where's it coming from? It's coming from Reddit. So also, a lot of people probably don't know that the respiratory fight committee gets money every year from a fund that was started by the right. And last year, the amount of money that they got was that $6,000. They paid $9,000, but the guy got 60 of put into the office. Oh, and then the money always goes to something to help the town. Make it better. And yeah, I listened to the OPD changes, and last month we had Dave Jackson, and the town marshal, and everything seemed to be going good. About a week and a half ago, Kathy and I, Lauren and I, someone got to this, but Craig was letting us know he was leaving. And his advice to us to check out the would be extremely difficult to just decide to shut it down one day and expect everything to go in the corner. So what we have chosen to do is have an acting town marshal, so I think the policemen that come at patrol still have else powers. And then, we want to, advertise for people who submit their application for the town marshal. And if at that time we see nobody that you think can do it, you out for it. And I've asked Alexandria, okay, you tell me what it's gonna cost. And, I know that they're gonna know what would be the cost for the whole office, just even though they didn't have any. But, we need to know that to make a fair decision. But, one of the issues that, when Brenda Technology didn't know what he was gonna do, that this police came up, went to me yesterday. You don't know, you don't make this in court. I want to be just an omission. Or maybe, or sometimes it's difficult because we do it. One of the things I think as a board we have to look at is the average wage for a town marshal and serving in is $55. We're a long way from $50,000. We may be close to other communities our size, I don't know. But I think that we cannot go from where we're at, I think it's like 30 to $50,000 in a year. So I think we can't, but I think we should consider, instead of the normal 2% of fixed deals, how I maybe conduct a march like we want to rather than get closer. And see, I think it's direct. In my mind, the reason we had this one, I think I saw a job advertised for like 50,000 and 50,000. But that's quite a bit of difference. I know a lot of firemen left Alexandria today, doing a lot higher paying jobs and fishing and things and that. It's already been saying, continue to stay with them.
So our acting marshal, we have to vote on that.
He needs some sort of action, whether it's a motion or a second. Needs to be reflected in minutes of the appointment.
We had generally asked, Jacob Jones, who is our detective, and he doesn't, if he chose him to do our time marshal, he doesn't have to go to attorney, he's already been there. We had two people in our department that are of that status. But, I think we all thought that last year Craig was going to be a guy, we thought he was a young guy, he was really energetic, and he would work into the job in a mature way. But I think sometimes when you're young, I don't know how many guys left Midland or closer and get a nickel more now somewhere else, and I was auto states that every day. Right? And it's like, some of that's important, especially, I guess I would make a note to approve, Jacob Jones as our acting town marshal until start the time and to make a, get the choice. I'm very sure. Yeah, at this time, I would kind of like all the people kind of meet with, if I talked to him quite a bit, and And we talk off and on. But a lot of you maybe have not met him or don't know him, we don't know his background. If you want to give everyone a quick update, it's.
Yeah, I've been here since 2022, and that 2018 year with the realization. If you really know, it's very keen in public service, firefighting, this is that, years ago. For, actually, my last 2 weeks from the program, really psychology, so I got some other plans to go, but it's decided late this week, but, I love the rest of this, so we do less than we lose, and don't want to go anywhere else and do the same thing. That's fine. I mean, but you guys, so that would be, I'll do whatever that we find, whatever I can, talk about some grant funding. I've got some video calls later this week, get some liaisons, and some different grants, funding grants, local regional grants, so let's get some money filmed in, let's bring that soon, we need that, so. I've never had a position that like this before, so, it's kind of immediate until we, figure out what we're gonna do each time, and we're starting, I'm looking good. I already told them I got a new policy, so if whatever concern there are, I'm going to figure it out. But I'm a shot at it. I'm like, yeah, you too.
Any questions? Again, we network with one of these.
Yeah, or what, man, cell phone number and.
Yeah, not for the door, we don't have to do nothing. I get, but how many offices do you have each?
Right now, we believe we have 5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? I know the 20 that I talked about, like, there are a lot of, what, 17, I think is the number.
This board says that's not the number.
And I agree, you can't have the around the clock coverage that you can't even, are not paid, not trained, you gotta find a new, that can cover safety, I'm not also doing it. My plan, okay, is 25 to 30 hours. I said, well, if I'm checking this, we're fine to say, I can't just have to put that. On the coverage we do, especially if looking at a pay that actually brings 6 hours.
What kind of another do you have?
Yeah, what we've seen in the past is it said that, there was, 30 hours.
Yeah.
So, somewhere in there, and as the acting chief, I don't know that you've been doing it.
You have contact information.
My phone number is on the top right of that.
Let me get you a copy of those two copies.
My main priority right now is to move and when nothing is carried, create that line, what is that, that's a drop, we can go through an inventory. What we have, we don't have, we can't be used to a lot of that, I don't need it to, so.
Yeah, without any, supervision on what was good or bad, we know there's a lot of stuff.
Right.
I would call it junk,
Yeah.
but if we don't need the stuff laying around, then it's.
Right. I'm not here to make changes overnight.
So, it's like I can remember going to Red Bull, and then came my thoughts were, first I have to understand what they did and why they did it, and then maybe I can suggest, from and see if I help. I think whoever, any person taking over the position could do that right. No two people are gonna do the job the same way. Yes. Again, 4 is probably a little less than we want, and then we believe good.
Yeah.
But again, it's really important to have people that are comfortable with they're gonna do the job right.
Right. And again, I was talking to the guys who were kind of saying that make the job really by the way. Transition part of it, the password being definitely credit for computer programs on top of looking at the application you already had in the past year and there's an application on our website, you can see that. Findings and from that, so, yeah. It can be a lot of, government not with things in the short enough time.
You plan on having a meeting with your officers at that?
Yeah, I said, I was talking to you today, I told him, I followed the conversation out, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
So, but, yeah, certainly I haven't been able to sit down with the different job, but they need.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I would.
What do you want for the fencing?
So that's the only assistant chief of school police department and then the security. And he provides all the options for like safe fairgrounds, officers, but it's just running stuff.
Not on a regular basis, you're in the hospital?
No, it has nothing to do with the
Okay,
hospital.
okay.
Yeah, nothing else to do with the hospital.
Okay, I was thinking, how can you work here, the hours you're asking from the state, you know, and their, well,
Yeah, no.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so, okay.
The, Tuesday, on Monday night, we need to move the police cars in rumors and utility truck. And we can't just park it out front because we're gonna block all that off if we can park there or. I talked to Bradley Church, we're gonna park the utility truck in the door. Anyway,
Can you actually know on some of the bill kind of, what kind of number now? And putting the boxes in.
Sunday night.
I mean, that's some of the.
it's a,
Me on the park,
it doesn't, just, it's talking about that. Either out back or out.
Anywhere, but figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the present time, the road people come to vote is because of this bill, and it's her business, doesn't she? See, it's kind of weird, because in my mind, you know, go through that, or when they're over at home, and it's,
Or not, as they want to leave.
so anyway, let's leave down the road in the future, if we can figure that out. But, normally the people either go out the back door or come back through the lead, and I don't care, all the time, so it's not necessarily good idea to park on the church or the people that are all, and then you got the people out there, and then you got the vendors, things, so, we should be ready for you, and, so, that's probably the next one coming up. Any other new business, anything open and discussion for, not on the agenda?
Now that Rob had a glance at, and just do a tree the other day, right?
I see trees. You never.
Well, yeah, actually yesterday I went by and I think it's a window.
This is not, it's actually not in the.
Well, then I guess I didn't go back.
On the down past that gym, the last house in the west, at the end of his yard there. There's a thing that's red and none of the windows on it. It's a wall, it's clean. Yeah, it's past the his.
It's not, it's out of Los Angeles, but it's gonna block the road. It's gonna block the road in the fall.
We're across from my father was in the house, just, they've got people out there, they're all back.
It's out of our city limits, so I did call the county, and they said they would take care of it. But they don't get,
Like I said, yesterday they were in on the spot.
right,
Then he was actually driving around looking at other place, but I don't know.
They look like to me it's gonna be one of, we used to have real, change your oil commercial, depending on anything later. With anybody up in the road, and then the road's gonna be blocked, and they'll have to come take care of it. And you got maybe get time. It's to the point where if I drive that road, you do, Steve, or I think if the storm's coming through, I don't know. I only saw, one lane within the size that was found this morning when I drove around, it was on the curve where the, the monitor's good on Thursday, the guy that drives it now. Well, I don't know where Sycamore ends and Lotus begins. One of the curves, no other items, no other new items? Yes.
Sorry, I just want to let the town know that, the wastewater treatment plant has begun operations. Okay, over there, so it'll be on now. We have not started discharging the fleet yet, we'll probably do that fleet, take the wastewater treatment plant with that from running. And you hear some really noise, you go, you're gonna like that, it might be going on. For the town of Arestas, and this is really, welcome, with I mentioned that. We have been trying to, you guys know we have an increased traffic and semi-trucks on there. And even more now with our new label online, and planning to see a little bit of that. We have been enforcing all already road drivers that if you stop in the middle of the road and block traffic, okay, you will be hit. Please tell your officer, anybody, if you see in a little food truck, stop in the middle of the road, to check in. I want you to give them a ticket, a big time, crap at all. I want you to give them a full DOT inspection from head to toe, because we have been telling it. I've almost myself personally, I think this statement very serious. I've almost hit one of my own employees trying to drive out around, maybe working at 5:30 at night, trying to drive around a semi-truck that blocked the road there. We took plenty of signs out, we investigated signs, we have been telling, Tony has dealt with this as well, but now, or anyway, I'm just letting officers know, you have 100% are going ahead to ticket them, give them a riot act, tell them to move it, all those things. It's just crazy. They just stop in the middle of the road, get out, leave the truck running, and it says right there, pull in here, pull in here. Well,
So you're talking other
Redwood drivers now, they won't be, they will not.
So you're just talking to other ones.
I've actually had to break up a fist fight between one of our Redwood trailer drivers and the over the road here, because a Redwood driver came back in the dock, and he got.
I think you could put a sign up that says, stop in the middle of the road, and then just have a picture of us.
Yeah, it's great. No, I'm asking you to town, I'm trying to help the town as well, because I know you guys travel.
Yeah.
And I don't want that, because the kids are playing, and people are riding bikes, people are taking off. And you get an 18, wheeler blocking the road like that.
Well, it always amazed me when I was there, what's your thought process that you're gonna stop in the middle of the road and get out and walk in the truck in?
And it's certainly, yeah. So anyway, I want to share that with you guys. And there's, I talked to somebody, a while ago, anyway, whoever has information on the time capsule, it's going to happen if you can keep me involved, because I've got some corporate reports that are very, 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 easy.
You see what's in it?
That, and we know what we can put in the next one.
Yeah, I don't know, has anybody talked about it? Okay, take that one out, and take
No, all of the church,
Yes, we can, here, go from the.
because we
Have to go under the valve.
Yeah.
It's in the.
I remember about this time last year, this discussion, I thought it was really neat, so doing my part of being here with you guys, and I appreciate that, and I'm glad to be. I sent an email afterwards to Bill, Roger, and then asked him to let mine stay, and he seemed to very, very good, she didn't even know what to even put in that.
I don't remember.
That's it.
Yeah, well, we'll need to find a.
And then now it's a Wednesday day, if you would like regularly to put something else in the meantime, capital. What's the size, how big, what I'm looking at, and you just find it.
So I think it's, And something that's financially taking up the city is maybe some things that should go on the next one, I put, the time. Yep. The pictures of Red Bull and whatever, just because like, I see them sometimes, they'll show things in Alexander and then people start talking about, well, they used to be there and then they'd be here and all that stuff, but. And if the one, I was writing for a newspaper when we goes around and Alexander, saying that, talking down with fire department. I have no idea what's in it. Yeah, I don't know anything other than saying, I know that for how you find stuff put in.
There was one that was like Curly, the beaching mountain, that was there, and I remember that city, he was putting the thing, for the years, the thing, like, it's for but it's everything there.
But, we're working on getting maybe Bruce friends to.
Cool.
To get going in the.
No matter what.
So it's exactly.
It's actually in the bricks, we're gonna have to get the bricks.
Yeah. You can see where it was spread, but I'll go to work, and that's, right there, there's more of it, and spread, and that's the only of it, and different.
That's taking down the.
We'll get with them, I know that,
Somebody,
thought about-
some people around, things.
we thought about, contacting the Historical Society as well, because they're going to be going around different places, and how that,
There's a lot.
Yeah, I think.
And the oldest citizen, and how that, and the G one,
Nice, with the,
I enjoy listening to Prince, talking about making pies and giving to the hobos at the railroad station, and the railroad station is there. Maybe we need to get a hold of Jimmy and have Jimmy tell us some stories. I'll let you do that. I mean, just something to think about, I don't know.
I'll tell you somebody who tell you a lot of stories about it. I think there's nothing too shy. Bill Fox.
It's good.
Bill Fox.
Oh, yeah.
He grew up right here in the corner. He lived there with us.
Yeah. I just think that would be interesting. And he even give me a little picture about that. The way the house used to be, like instead of a front porch, it was down and it was like wood. Just like, old time, like out there where the cars used to just be, and it had this wooden floors to get in. That's how the porch was, it went all the way around the side. I just remember, I know a lot of people, like, do memory books and things, and I just thought that would be so good, that.
Well, we were urban, right in front, right by my family camp. Right there at the station.
Well, there is a gentleman at the Historical Society. I listened to him for 3 Saturdays in a row. He was getting, all he talked about was the Restless, the Elwood, and the two, I think they called it Switch something.
Flower
Switch. Okay, not yet, Flower is Switch. He said it was fascinating.
He's with the traveling school.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, just keep the thought.
He could come over and do it.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. He's been.
Steve Jackson.
Steve Jackson, that's in the Margaret.
Okay.
Thank you.
There might be something that you read,
Yeah.
with everything about that. Yeah.
I know a couple of guys who used to do that for football when you get new people like showing the film and start them. In the challenge.
It doesn't, that's all I have to say.
I'm sorry. So I make a motion to accept town funds 401 through 420 for a total of $11,908.60. And water and wastewater funds 401 through 416 for a total of $12,932.11. And in favor, say aye. You want to make a motion to adjourn at 7:44?
I thought that,
Remember,
that Jim